Alrighty. What on earth is going on? Look at this price action as we kick off the live stream. What a great start to the live. Guys, Bitcoin surpassed $80,000. We had a big move to the upside. We had a red weekly close, and then we got a nice move to the upside. And here we go again. Let's see if we can manage to hold this. Let me just turn down the music. Can everyone hear the music? Can everyone hear me? Testing. Just want to make sure. If you can hear me, let me know in the comments. I just want to make sure. This is crazy stuff. Finally, some volatility on a live stream. Everything sounds perfect. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I am caffeinated, legends, and I'm ready for this live stream. We're going to try to run it a little bit over 3 hours if we can. Last live stream, we ended just at 3 hours, and what a move by Bitcoin, guys. Wow. I'm going to close this a little bit. Check it out. Good to go. Thank you, Brady. Iran is bombing Dubai. Hi, Matt. Yes, loud and clear. All good, mate. Awesome. All right. So today I wanted to discuss my higher time frame analysis on top of the lower time frame, because with this move to the upside, a lot of people are turning extremely bullish. Now, I don't want to come on here and say that there is no chance that Bitcoin can't keep pumping, because there are some higher targets that I have in mind. However, there's two things that I'd like to bring to your attention. One, if Bitcoin manages to hold above $80,000, I will be offloading some of my spot Bitcoin. You heard that right. I've constantly talked about my hedge in the market. My long exposure remains in Bitcoin, and ultimately I've been shorting this market. But right now we're getting some very, very choppy price action. Now, the 4-hour close is in approximately 37 minutes from now. And so I'd like to see how this 4-hour candle closes. The candle closes are what's most important. If this just sees continuation, then naturally Bitcoin can move higher and find acceptance back into its higher range. Now, I've also talked about this level all the way up here, which is the 200-day moving average for Bitcoin. If we manage to go there, I will be aggressive in adding to my existing Bitcoin short. I've talked about it in the community. I'm currently in a scalp Bitcoin short, and I'm also in a swing Bitcoin short, along with a swing Tau short. Nothing has changed from my positions. I'm still seeing more bearish tweets. Yeah, so this is the thing, and we talked about it in my last video. One thing that I'm not a huge fan of at this point in time is the fact that all of our bullish crypto influencers that we have in this industry, you know, the guys that were constantly spewing about altcoin season this, altcoin season that, a million X gains. These guys have unfortunately been a little bit bearish as well. And I genuinely don't like being on the same side as those guys. I won't name any names, but they've become memes at this point. And so perhaps sweeping up this liquidity is enough to get them to become bullish. And then I can continue being bearish. Let me just go through the comments before I continue. Hi from Spain, Steph Man. Nice to have you on the live stream. Ceasefire is over, it seems. Continuation into 57K because of this. Thank God everyone is bullish again. That is good for my cash. I mean, it's important to consider the fact that this can play out in a lot of ways. Still short Tau. Yes, I am still short Tau. Here's the thing, guys. Let me show you my trades. So this is my Bitcoin short that I've been shorting from much higher. You can see that now my P&L is technically negative, my unrealized P&L, but I'm willing to add to this position. My realized P&L, obviously I made around 300K on this trade. I want to hold this trade, but the Tau trade I'm still holding as well. I saw a comment of some of you saying that you went and shorted Tau aggressively because I was still shorting it. But guys, you have to understand that I had entered Tau. I think my average entry on Tau is 323. So if I go on the Tau chart, like I entered all the way up here. So just because you see that I am swing shorting Tau, if you didn't get a similar entry, then naturally you're not going to be in a very good trade because this has been looking pretty solid. With these kinds of trades, I secure profits on the way down, and then I move my stop loss to break even. So I'm not stressed about Tau whatsoever. Even if it were to just pump, I've already secured most of the profits I was looking for on this trade. And by the way, if you want to trade the market with me, if you want to know what I am personally doing in the market on a day-by-day basis, you do have that first link in the description down below. If you DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram, you'll be able to join my private group where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis. These are my own trades. I'm not posting a gazillion trades every single day like those crypto signal groups. These are just my own trades in the market. So if that sounds interesting, DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram and you'll be able to join that group. And I also want to remind you that I am not a financial advisor. Nothing that I discuss on the channel should be construed as financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet sharing all of his own personal trades and his overall market analysis. So let's see Bitcoin. It's very clear to me that if we get acceptance above this level, it would suggest that Bitcoin can move higher. But my main target, if we do get acceptance, would be that 200-day moving average, which is found $83,500. That's pretty high up there. Again with this music, man. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Hey, man. Long or short? I'm still holding my swing short. Aw, man. Respect your videos and market knowledge, but I think you are very wrong, Atal. If you looked into more than just chart. Ben Browser, it doesn't matter, though. I don't... Like, this is the thing. Wrong or right, I don't care. I just make money trading the market. Like, that's the thing. I shorted at 323. I couldn't care less because I've already made 150K shorting this token when everyone was bull posting, and I'm just not stressed about it, to be quite frank. Are you going to short Zcash soon? It's a possibility. I want to take you through this quickly, just because there's a lot of questions about Tau. But structurally, how can you say that this was a bullish chart? A high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. We created a lower low. To me, this wasn't bullish. So, something for you to consider there. Now we see what kind of price action Bitcoin will give us here. Because 1 hour, yeah. We didn't manage to sweep these highs that we made as I was heading to bed last night. So let's see. Let's see what happens here. Hi, Coach. Good to see you here live again. Great to see you as well. I think I told you guys, now that I got a new camera, new mic, I want to do some more live streams. I think it'll be beneficial for all if I could do some more live streams, some longer live streams as well. Fair. Ben browse about sorry if I'm not pronouncing it. Browser. Ben browser. I'm gonna hold it until either we continue lower, so like down to these lows below $200, which seems probably unrealistic, or until my stop loss gets hit. So I'm pretty aggressive with my profit taking on the way down. And then once I've secured an amount of profit that I am personally content with, well, at that point in time, I simply move my stop to break even. And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out and I can't lose any more capital on this trade. All the trades that you're seeing, win or lose, are shared in my group. DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram if that sounds interesting to you. It's where I trade. $15 minutes. Waiting to hit 85K so I can add to my shorts. You good? Music bit loud. Ryan, will I add to my short? Yes, I will add to my short if Bitcoin gets strong momentum to the upside. For now, I don't need to add to it. I'm pretty content. Let's see. I even got some Monster energy drink. I wouldn't recommend it though. It drives me bananas, but I want to be more alert for this live stream. I don't know. I think Iran, this thing is about to crumble. Order flow shows more shorts coming in than longs. What's the minimum deposit to join the CBM group? The minimum deposit to join my group is $500. So reminder, it's not $500 that goes to me. It's the $500 that you're using, your own money that you use to trade. Yeah, so we had some news. U.S. Secretary Bessent says that U.S. is opening the Strait of Hormuz. And let's see if some more stuff came out to cause this pump and dump. 64% chance President Trump signs crypto market structure legislation into law this year. I don't know how significant this will be for the markets, to be honest. And I mean, 2026 is a long time. It's a long year. I'm eating lemon. What is your local time? I'm eating lemon. Right now, it's almost noon, so it's 11:30 a.m. here. If I was in Dubai, as I normally am, it would have been much later, around 7:30 p.m. This is the thing. I prefer it there. However, I must say, covering the market when the U.S. stock market is open is it's nicer, because if I want to do that when I'm in Dubai, I'm literally doing a late night live stream, which I'm not the biggest fan of. There's so many charts that I'd like to bring to your attention in today's video, but this is the most important thing for this week and to support Bitcoin's price action. If this goes to $100, Michael Saylor's stretch product, he has extra liquidity to buy some more Bitcoin. And the last time this happened, he bought billions and billions worth of Bitcoin. If we scroll down here, you can see that over the last few weeks, he's bought zero with this product. Now, last time, you can see here, almost 10,000 Bitcoins alone on April 14th. That is absolutely absurd. It's this whole financial engineering thing. I personally am not a fan of this, but hey, if he has the excess capital to be able to buy more Bitcoin, it will support the price. I think he's the main buyer at this point in time, though. So let's see. I'm drinking some matcha my fiance made. Cheers, gents. Nice. Matcha is nice. My girlfriend absolutely loves matcha. Clarity is positive for all of crypto. Don't think it's going to be the catalyst everyone thinks it is. I think clarity is positive for crypto as well. But unfortunately, this year we've been, let's say, rugged by the crypto president. I'd stay in Canada if I were you, Metzir. I'm probably going to end up going back just for a little period, and then I'll come back to Canada for the summer. Saylor, no buys this week. I think he was referring to last week. I might be wrong. Did Saylor actually say that? Look, let me find actually, I wanted to, for you guys that don't actually understand this stretch mechanism and how it works, every time it goes above par, so above $100 and above, he can immediately start buying Bitcoin with that excess liquidity. And in return for getting this up, you can earn 11.5% a year interest. Now, I think that this is a well-designed Ponzi, but these things can last a while before they crumble. Now, this is this is a live Twitter account, and I actually asked how soon do they start buying Bitcoin after hitting par, which is $100? And does it have to close the day at par and then the next day they buy Bitcoin? Just trying to ask a question that I thought everyone would be interested in. And here's the answer. No, it does not have to close the day at exactly $100 par, and they can and do start buying Bitcoin the same day Stretch trades at or above par. Stretch is Strategy's variable rate Series A perpetual preferred stock listed on the NASDAQ. Strategy raises capital for Bitcoin purchases primarily through an ATM offering. This program lets them continue to issue and sell new Stretch shares at the prevailing market price, but they only do so efficiently and in volume when the share price is at or above $100 per par. So here's the trigger: intraday trading at or above $100, not the daily close. So the moment that this hits 100, I think they just start buying, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very interesting. My liquidation is at 85K. Can I add extra capital? Entered at 73K. How would you play it? Man, I am not one to hold trades at a significant loss for an extended period of time. So unfortunately, I don't think I can give you the best advice here. The time to short was from higher, and the reason you see me holding on to my existing Bitcoin short position is simply because I started adding to this position on the way down. So I'm okay with seeing a negative unrealized P&L, considering I've secured around 300K on this trade. So I am playing it in a very patient manner. However, entering and then adding significantly when the price is almost, over $7,000 from my entry, I wouldn't do that. That's very, very, very risky. I'm sorry if that wasn't any help to you, but it's something that we have to consider. Like, yeah. The only time I really hold trades is if it's in favorable price action. Got engaged in Cape Breton. That's awesome. I actually have a buddy of mine that played for their school for football, or soccer, I should say. Hoping we go up to 84K for a generational short. Let's see. Do you consider entering a short at 81, 82K being a good entry just in case we don't reach 85K? I have to see how the price action develops to be able to answer that. If we just get strong continuation, then no. Look, the key pivot, sorry. Man, this music, I have to be honest, this music is ass. I'm not a big fan of I got to find better music for live streaming. I always complain about it when I'm live as well. Man, shorting Bitcoin at 70K? Guys, this is not what I've been preaching. Can you go over how you set your stop losses when the trades go against you? So usually my stop losses are invalidations. So I am one with my own capital. I like to use what we call a soft stop loss. So for example, let's just use this example. Let's say you shorted Bitcoin at the Pico top here. Given how significant this level is, my soft stop loss in this case would be, let's say, a 4-hour candle close above this level. If we get a strong candle close above the level, it would suggest continuation, and therefore I would close the trade early. Now, with that soft stop loss, sometimes I also add a hard stop loss in case the price just rips in either direction. But starting to short at 70K is, I don't know, guys. Very, very risky behavior. I never want you guys to watch my content and think that because I'm in a short, it makes sense to just go all into a short. It's a scary predicament that some people find themselves in when they see someone that they admire and then they just jump into a short because I'm in an active trade. Well, my entry is probably not the same as you. So you have to be careful about how you play it. That's not trading, just simply copying someone. I would never recommend that. However, this is going to be a crucial daily candle in my opinion, because something that I'd like to also bring to everyone's attention on the daily time frame. Yeah, this looks like a nice candle, and we want to ideally close above for the bulls at least. As I said, if Bitcoin starts breaking above 80K, I'm going to start selling. But look at this. Decreasing volume. That is a horrible arrow. Decreasing volume on this big pump. Not usually what you want to see. You'd want to see the volume increasing. Now, of course, this is the daily time frame, so things can take a while to play out. But overall, this is decreasing volume. Ceasefire is over. Let's see. Oil just jumped now. I agree with your view. The bottom is not in just yet. But again, as I've said, guys, it's important that you hedge yourself in a market. If you actually believe in Bitcoin in the long term, there's no reason to not have some exposure to the market. I hold some spot Bitcoin. So if we do rip higher, I do stand to benefit from it. But I still don't think the bottom is in. And I'll go over it now on the higher time frames why I don't think the bottom is in. Let's read some comments first. The high pump is good opportunity. Music not playing for us. Might not be loud enough. Can you guys hear the music? I'd like to see 49K at least October. Let's take a look at the liquidity. Let's talk about it. So you can see that we grabbed some upside liquidity on this move, but there are some shorts jumping in here. Now, if we go to the 1 week time frame, too much sugar for you, bro. It's sugar free. It is sugar free. There is some significant liquidity to the downside. I don't want to downplay it. Look at this 1 day time frame. I think some more shorts piled in. About the same amount of shorts and long today. 7 day time frame. What do you notice? On the left, 8 billion worth of cumulative long liquidation leverage. On the right, just under 2.6 billion worth of cumulative short liquidation leverage. Then, 30 day time frame. The discrepancy is even larger. 13 billion, 3.5, 90 day time frame, 16.3 billion, 3.5. So after this cluster, up until call it 83K, there isn't that much more upside liquidity to be grabbed on the 90-day time frame at least. Well, what does the 180-day look like? Okay, yeah, a little bit more bound. Let's go 1 year. It's crazy though that we've been in a downtrend for quite some time, and there is still more long leverage in my opinion. This is pretty absurd. We can barely hear your music. But is Minecraft music copyright free is the question. Milan Roy. What a legend. Music playing now. Thanks, bro. It's a lovely day for some tennis. "15 minutes until the 4-hour candle close." Sorry, guys, my lips are a little bit chapped. Okay. Let's go here. Honestly, it's gonna take some buying from Saylor to push us significantly higher, I think. Bo-bo-bo. So, Bosco, are you sure it's this week? I thought he said that for last week. Let me just confirm. Let me just confirm. Did he say that this week? Where is the guy? Oh, no buys this week. I thought that he was referring to the prior week, and he's back to work this week. That was my interpretation of it. But let's see. Because this is crawling up. We get to above par, and they're going to start buying with this, with the stretch. At least that's my interpretation of it. My man. Yeah, I like, again, with the Tau, I've been shorting from quite a lot higher. So I'm gonna keep on holding this position, and I think it can bleed lower, especially if Bitcoin rejects. I know this is a nice move on the weekly, but how many times have you seen this where we form a high, we form a little bit of a lower high, and then we just drop even further? So let's see. Guys, all the trades, my entry in real time is shared in my group. If you want to join, it's the first link in the description down below. DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram, and you'll be able to join that group. I would typically recommend Bluffin to be able to join. You sign up with one of the affiliate exchange links down below, and you're able to see all of my trades. So this is what it looks like. You click send message, DM me the word CBM, and you'll be greeted with an automated message. We also have some pretty fantastic promotions on Bluffin. You can earn up to $50,000 in withdrawable bonuses, 60K on 2bit as well, which is a great exchange. And I'm not a financial advisor. Have to always say that. This is very interesting price action. I know, man. Saylor should be trying to buy much lower. Charts look crazy at the moment. Tau dropping nicely for now, though. Yeah, Luke Draco, that's the way to do it, man. That's the way. You take your profits on the way down, you move your stop to break even, and then you can stand to benefit if it drops further. If it doesn't, though, hey, who cares? You've made profits on your trade. That's all that matters. That's literally all that matters. I'm so curious to see where Bitcoin is headed here. Seems like we have an 80K wall. Every time we tap into it, we get rejected. But structurally, we're still it still looks like we're coiling up. We can't ignore that. Do you think Bitcoin will drop below 60K? I do believe so. And let me explain why. So, if we go on the weekly time frame, you'll notice two things. One, this band here, the bull market support band, we managed to have a weekly close, 2 weekly closes above that level. That is significant, but that has also happened in previous cycles. So from the low, and I just want to remind you guys of how aggressive these bear market rallies can get. From the low to where Bitcoin went today, 34% pump. Are we back is the question on everyone's mind. Remember, 2 closes above the bull market support band. In 2022, and if you've been tuning into the channel, you know that I've made this comparison before. What do you notice? Maybe because of how I'm zoomed in, it doesn't look like that big of a rally, right? Right? Well, from the low to the high, 47, almost a 47% rally. Yeah, 47%. And most importantly, 1, 2 closes right above the bull market support band. And after that massive move to the upside, well, the rest is history. So that is one thing that I'm paying attention to. Now, the important factor to consider here that I'm putting within my analysis is this blue line is the 200-day moving average. Now, it's a simple moving average, but most of the time in bear markets, we can retrace to that level. And if we take a look at the 200-day moving average, this time around, it is actually found, it continues to drop because the price is below it, but the 200-day moving average is actually right at around $83,500. So that's currently the extent to which I think Bitcoin can go, assuming we can confirm above $80,000. Otherwise, there's a chance that these 2 closes were enough and we retrace. But let's see how the price action develops as always. I think it's important for us to consider that there is a chance that we rally up here, and the probabilities, in my opinion, still favor a move lower because in previous cycles, we've had more aggressive bear market relief rallies. Now, there's a lot of other charts that I'd like to bring to your attention, so make sure that you're paying attention here. Because yes, Bitcoin is trying to hold up here. But aside from the liquidity, which we cover time and time again on the channel, there's so much to cover. Talked about this in my videos. The Bitcoin percentage of supply in profit and loss. We have not crossed. Usually we do in a bear market. Second chart here, the Bitcoin terminal price chart. Bitcoin usually hits its realized price and its balanced price. And right now, the Bitcoin balanced price is below $40,000. The Bitcoin realized price is just above 54K. Now, the argument that I've heard a lot is, well, we never hit the terminal price in the bull market, and that is valid. So maybe we can bottom before then. Just trying to play devil's advocate here. Next thing, this is something that I'm sure a lot of you have seen Ben Cowan talk about. I think it's still very, very relevant. Bitcoin's performance in midterm years. So you can see that this is within 1 standard deviation, and the middle here is the average performance of Bitcoin in midterm years. The red is where we're currently at. So you can see that we are at the highest extremity for how Bitcoin typically performs in midterm years. So to me, at least, this suggests that if the rally will top out, it will likely top out around this zone. So here up to, for example, this simple moving average, I think is probable. Now, the next thing is the drawdown from all-time high, which I've discussed this at length before, but I don't think that a 50% drop from the high to the low this cycle is sufficient to call for a bear market bottom. So yeah, we're seeing a relief rally. Yes, we see this in bear markets, but my base case is that it's still not sufficient to call for the bottom to be in. Now, another chart, the Fear and Greed Index, over the course of this bear market, or particularly since the all-time high, you'll notice that every single time we've got spikes within the Fear and Greed Index, it marked around local tops. And here you can see all-time high, peak, Fear and Greed Index. Then this was the big rally up to around $97,000 where I originally shorted Bitcoin. That was my original Bitcoin short position. Drop afterwards in the Fear and Greed Index along with the price. Now we're starting to see higher valuations, and the Fear and Greed Index has also been making lower highs. Then we have the social risk. Well, this doesn't necessarily attribute to a bear market price action, but I mean, yes and no, because we're still in a significant decline for overall interest in the crypto space. So, yes, can we expect Bitcoin to outperform other cycles? I don't know. Look, I don't know if the word is expect. It's not my expectation. I think that the drawdown from all-time high to the low of this cycle will be less severe than the last cycles, but I still don't think that this drawdown that we saw down to 60K was sufficient. And I think that a lot of people are going to be in for a tough summer if the downtrend commences relatively soon. So let's see. The largest oil disruption in history does not feel bullish to me. Agreed. But I think with this 4-hour candle close, it's not unrealistic to push higher here if we close like this. Let's see. 4-hour candle close in 3 minutes. Hello from Southern California. Hello, Kimberly. I'm keeping my eyes on Saylor. Hello, Lorien. Lorien? Lorien. Don't you think for Bitcoin to pump higher, there should be a correction that can be expected? What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand your question. Long or short now? It's funny, people come on the live stream thinking I'm going to tell you to just go max long or go max short. In my opinion, we are approaching higher time frame resistance. I'll leave it at that. This isn't a call to just jump into a max short. Absolutely not. I'm holding my swing short from higher, and it's actually currently underwater, but I've already made significant profits on the way down, and that's all that really matters. If we get a 4-hour close above 80K, that's bullish. Yeah, exactly. I always give my opinion. And my opinion is that if Bitcoin can get higher confirmation above 80K, like if we can start getting strong candle closes back within where we originally bottomed out, like remember this range? When Bitcoin dropped and then we had a big bounce, this is where I went short, right up here. I also went long. I know some of you guys think that I'm a perma bear, but I'm not. I also went long right around this zone. And I have the receipts. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see when I was bullish. So I was bullish here, bearish, and I'm annoyed that I didn't catch a long here, but I'm still in my swing shorts. This is starting to look like a pretty good 4-hour candle close. Hello, sir. Greetings from France. Salut, Sébastien. Okay, Matt, but what about long and short right now? Right now, okay, that was a decent close. I think we sweep higher. Do you scalp, Crypto Bull? I'm not a big scalper. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, I am a swing trader. Guys, if you want to see my trades, how I am personally operating in the market, day by day, week by week, my own personal trades, you do have the first link in my description down below. If you DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram, you'll be able to join my private group for free because you're trading with your own capital. The only requirement is that you've signed up with one of these links down below. Any of them work, and then you can join me. I like Bluffin. It's my go-to exchange. It's where I trust. It's where I trust holding a lot of my capital, and 2bit's also solid. So is Velto. What do you think about Ethereum? Are we going to the 200-day moving average? What do I think about Ethereum? I think that anything that Ethereum will do will be based on what Bitcoin does. Those are my thoughts. When I short, price goes up. When I long, price goes down. Yeah. Welcome to trading. I feel you. Any SFP at 80,600. Yep, that's possible. Because we have some liquidity up here. I'd want to see acceptance back below. What's up with people? Is people a token? I don't pay attention to shit coins unless I'm looking to short them. The 200-day moving average, Legends, is all the way up to $83,500. So this is, right now, this is pretty constructive price action. It's pretty constructive price action. This is what you would expect right as you're knocking on the door of resistance. Wouldn't this be an example of a time when you should cut a trade that's not going in your favor? Alejandro, I don't know if this is the same guy that I've spoken to on Telegram. I think it might be. Yes and no. Like, I'm okay with holding my trades as they are. It really depends on your entry, if you took profits on the way down. There's so many factors. It depends. Everyone has their own position. Now, the stock market is looking quite interesting. Are we just going to spike here? Do you also consider going short on S&P 500? So here's my view of the stock market. I was bearish on stocks here, right? And, oops. I was bearish on stocks, and I actually sold some of my own stock positions right on this uptrend. However, after we dumped, I didn't short this, is what I'm trying to get at. And then we got a massive move to the upside. So this price action, I definitely did not trade on stocks. From a stock market perspective, I mainly just hold my positions for a very, very long time frame. It's not a good idea to say that. It's not a good idea to stay on that Tau short. Tau is leading the way. It is a monster now. Guys, my stop loss is at break even. I appreciate you looking out for me, but my stop is at break even and my average entry is above $320. And I've secured some profits on the trade. So yeah, it would suck to not realize more profits here, but I don't jump out of trades just because the price is pumping and I'm shorting, and vice versa as well. I'm happy with the profits I took on the trade. I kind of, the way that I look at it is like, if I enter a bigger position like this, I consider the rest of the trade almost like a lost cause. I know that might sound counterintuitive, but if Bitcoin does reject from here, this will reject. Greetings from Montreal, enjoying your live stream. Awesome. Are you going to the USA for World Cup, my friend? I don't know. I haven't really decided. Maybe not in the States. Maybe I'll watch some games in Canada if there are some. But this was a very strong, impulsive 1 hour candle. Boom, boom, boom. It's time to do a live count. 84 likes, legends. 84 likes. We have to smash the like button. 84 likes. Come on, legends. Today we're going to go for 400 likes. I don't know if that's realistic, but let's go for 400 likes today. There's 300 people watching. I'm going to extend the live stream a little bit. We're going to make it a good one. Let's see if we can get to 400 likes. But first step is 100. 89 likes. First step is 100. Okay. I ask because I hear cut the losers and let the winners ride. And yes, we are chat up on Telegram pretty regularly. As always, thanks for all the engagement. Much appreciated. Okay, awesome. Yes, that's absolutely valid. Absolutely valid. I have to be honest, guys. With how I'm positioned in the market, I am very, very content. I know that a lot of people stress out because they just go balls to the wall in one position, but as I've constantly stated within my Telegram community and on the YouTube channel, the way that I operate in this market is I try to make sure that I can be right either direction. Now, that's a funny thing to say because, as you know, there's a lot of crypto influencers that what they'll do is they'll post a bunch of different charts and then they'll only highlight the one that was correct. I come on the channel very often saying, hey guys, I lost X amount of money on this trade. Hey guys, I won this trade. I'm always going to share with you how my trades are looking and if I'm winning, if I'm losing, how it's going in terms of my trading journey. And in terms of overall positioning, as I've said, I hold a significant amount of spot Bitcoin. I sold some above $110,000, $115,000, even a little bit above 120, but I still hold some spot Bitcoin. And because of that, I am relatively stress-free in the market because I still have that upside exposure. If, for whatever reason, Bitcoin defies all logic and just starts absolutely skyrocketing from here. I have some Bitcoin. And it's foolish, in my opinion, to not have any kind of exposure in an asset class if you believe in it in the long term, even if you're expecting lower prices. So from the shorting perspective, I'm holding some swing shorts. And then from the longing perspective, I have some spot Bitcoin. Can you talk about some Bitcoin TA? Yeah. So let's go a little bit lower time frames. And if you're new to the stream here, guys, I explained why I still think Bitcoin will be going lower over the course of this year. And I'll talk about it again, maybe every hour or so I can give you the quick rundown because I know there's some new people. But right now, as far as I'm concerned, this is a very pivotal zone for Bitcoin. Right here. This line is basically, let me remove the volume profile. Sorry. This line here is where Bitcoin, after it had this drop, it's where it effectively consolidated before dropping significantly lower to the 60K zone. I'm going to pull up this chart because it might be easier to see. So this is pivotal, in my opinion. If we start to get daily closes above this little consolidation zone, to me, this could mean that Bitcoin wants to make the move towards that 200-day moving average that I talked about on this chart. So that 200-day moving average, to remind you, my gosh, is currently sitting at around $83,500. So if you're very bullish on Bitcoin, what you want to see here is a daily close or daily closes above this level. This is very, very significant. I don't want to downplay it. This is crucial. So that's currently what I'm looking at. On the 4-hour time frame, it looks something like this. You know, we did initially get that one close above, then a close below, then a close above. It's going to be very, very choppy price action from around this zone before either the bulls or the bears win. I think that this is a pivotal point in the market. So let's see. Let's see. This is crucial. And then on the even lower time frames, if we zoom in here, this marks a key pivot in the market. See this green line that's coming down? It's found at around $78,400. The reason why this line is very significant, 78,400 to 78,300, is because it's the pivot that actually Bitcoin got rejected at, bringing it down to below $74,000. So the bears, first and foremost, would want to see Bitcoin gain acceptance back within its existing range, especially on the daily, like back below $79,300, depending on which chart you're looking at. This one is just a Bitstamp chart, but it might be different on the exchange that you're using. And most importantly, below this pivot and the bull market support band. So it's a high confluence zone. Now, I don't think that there's... What else did I want to discuss here? I wanted to take a look at the anchored VWAP here, because I think that it could provide some interesting support for Bitcoin from the recent pivot. So, anchored VWAP, where is it? Anchored VWAP. So from this low to where Bitcoin is today, would you look at that? If you've been tuning into the channel, you'll remember that this box over here, this white box that you're seeing, is important because it's where we have the value area high of the existing range. So let me just show you exactly what I mean. Take it from here. Fixed range volume profile from here to here. Look at that. This box with this anchored VWAP, like in my opinion, of course, if Bitcoin would drop this low, this could be an interesting long setup. Because there's a chance here that, let's assume, for whatever reason, Bitcoin doesn't break higher and we start dropping and everyone gets convinced, yes, that was the move. Bitcoin is dropping to below $6,000, and then we get another bounce from there. I've seen this kind of stuff play out time and time again. The only thing is, in bear markets, drops can be far more significant and aggressive after having big rallies like we've been seeing. Okay, I've been chatting a lot, looking at the charts, and it seems to work. I think you guys might not necessarily like it when I go in the comment section, because the viewers are upticking when I go over the charts like I just did. CME gap at around 84K. Rick Ty, correct. CME gap filled. 132 likes from me already. Awesome. Keep smashing that like button, legends. Love your live feed. Love your live feed. Keep going. Stock market TA. The thing with the stock market, guys, is like, I'm just a long-term buyer. Like, you know that everyone has been trolling people, or the general consensus of like, oh, just buy stocks and forget about it. But really, if you did that over the course of, let's say, the past 10 years, you're largely outperforming a lot of people that have tried to actively trade the market. So that is something to consider. Gerard Soriano, I remember you leaving that comment on my last 2-3 videos. Institutional cycle, slow and steady. It is possible, maybe because the institutions are involved, Bitcoin has already bottomed, but it's still not my base case. Like smash for the legends. Yes, sir. Devault Trading. Guys, if you haven't already checked out Devault, make sure to search up Mind Pillar Markets YouTube channel. Very, very solid channel. Him and Andy just absolutely killing it. And especially if you're into Elliott wave theory, they're They're very, 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 very solid at what they do, providing a lot more lower time frame trades. As you know, I'm a swing trader, and so I'm not particularly bothered by the lower time frame. Let's see. But this is interesting. This zone for me would be very, very interesting. Yes, but Bitcoin moves in sync with the S&P 500 lately. It does. Are you into NFTs at all? Oh, don't get me started. Not at all. I was I don't want to say a hater of NFTs, but I was just baffled at the fact that these little things could be valued like crazy in those previous bull market cycles. But I don't know, man. Really think banks and billionaires will allow others to buy Bitcoin? Never have, never will. But that's actually PAM PA Motorsports. Yes and no, because look at what happened every single cycle, right? There's something to address as well. If you're a long-term value investor, is the current price of Bitcoin an attractive level for the future if you believe in Bitcoin? The answer is probably yes. But everything that I share with you on the channel is based on my own experience in the market and how I am also currently positioned. So what I mean by this is, having accumulated Bitcoin between $15,000 and $30,000, I'm not particularly inclined to buy Bitcoin at 80K. I bought some as well during the bull market when we had that massive capitulation with Trump's tariffs. But aside from that, I have not been that eager to buy Bitcoin. I still don't think the bottom is in. Distance music. I still have NFTs from 2021, worth noting. Okay, Devault Trading. Hopefully those appreciate in value, but I wouldn't necessarily bet on it. Even at 90K, we are still not at bull market reversal levels. If you were just starting out and didn't have a spot bag, would you accumulate now? That's a very, very good question, Alejandro. And it's a difficult one for me to answer because with my current knowledge and view of the market, I think my answer would still be no. But it really depends. Like, if you leave a comment now and let me know about your time frame, right? Are you talking 10 years, 20 years, or are you looking to just play the next potential Bitcoin cycle? Because that changes a lot. If I was looking to buy low and sell high, then my answer would be no. I think we're approaching higher time frame resistance, and I think that this is a bear market relief rally. Chi-chan, you're actually right on that as well. Just DCA if unsure. Valid as well, PA Motorsports. Exactly. This is why I constantly say it's important to have some form of exposure to the market, because what if, what if? But I have to make it vocal that it's not my base case that the low is in. $80K again. Oops. Start a poll. Are you bullish or bearish? Guys, we're never going to dump if everyone is bearish. I could say goodbye to my shorts. $177 likes. Let's smash that like button. This is significant for Bitcoin. So we're really looking at 100 billion actual capital from here to see a real bull market reversal. Retail is broken. Institutional cycle. Bye-bye shorts. Gold down 2%. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Like, if stocks do hold up here, Bitcoin will be okay. Patiently waiting for Saylor to be able to buy. Trump will save the day again tomorrow. I mean, the day already looks saved, to be honest. It's pretty solid price action for the bulls, at least. Let's see. Volume is still technically decreasing. Let's see. Nico, Matt, do you open any live trade yet? No, but actually, if I stay on long enough, I might open a live trade. Again, very, very small position. Short 81, Crypto Gardenist. Let's see. Are we going to grab that upside liquidity? So right now, the pivot that I highlighted is crucial. Right at 79.4. I'm gonna only go back to this chart every now and then, but this one here. Let's go 4 hour. Like, where is it? You can see 1, 2, $79,400. We effectively came down below it, back tested this zone, which was a pivot that brought Bitcoin down, and then we held on to it as support, pushed higher, rejected, but held on to this level above these two pivots as support. So structurally, this is bullish price action for Bitcoin. Now, the candle closes are crucial. When you get this kind of price action, I like to get my confirmations with 4-hour candle closes at the bare minimum. So let's see. Yep, Rick Ty, agreed. For now. Agreed for now. Yes and no, John A. Vogel. I feel like the markets are not fully aware of everything going on in the Gulf region today. Most news outlets not even reporting that Dubai was hit an hour, including an oil line. Let's see. But that's like when you hear stuff on the news or you experience these things, it's not a valid reason to just enter a giga position. Like I always say the price action comes first. So that's something to consider. We've been streaming for 1 hour so far. How are we looking in terms of the likes? $192. Smash that like button, legends. We're going to try to go for 400 likes this live stream. 400 likes. So what kind of haircut you have? It's not looking too great today. I have very poofy hair. It's more of a, let's call it a modern mullet. But believe me, you guys will see me with a buzz cut relatively soon. Give me a few months. Thank you, Nico2589. Thank you for smashing that like button. I appreciate it. Insert name 5050. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. A modern mullet. All right, legends. What should we go over now? Because this is pretty solid price action. Every single time that Bitcoin has had like a significant move, and this was like the last, look, this was going into that weekly close. Then we had a rejection and drop. But we reclaimed the key levels, built up some upside liquidity, and every single time that we drop, we get an even bigger pump. And drop and a pump, I would be surprised if we don't sweep these highs. It's a valid SFP, trade if we get it. Thank you, Darren Mitchell. Appreciate you guys smashing the like button. What is a buzz cut? A buzz cut is when it's like a military haircut. So just shaved, basically. Very, very short. Five-minute. X-Tech developer, good night. Bitcoin refuses to die. Do some of you understand the concept of a bear market relief rally? Because I still think that what we're seeing is that. I'm not one to just speak in absolutes. I just trade the market that's right in front of me. And in my opinion, of course, what we're seeing here from Bitcoin is a bear market relief rally. I've been caught with my pants down before in a bear market, thinking that we are so back, only to get absolutely wrecked. And I don't want that to happen to you. Yes, I hold some Bitcoin, but I don't think that the bottom is in for Bitcoin. So this is a 34% rally so far. This was a 46% rally. We can still extend and still reject. Yes, 80,600 dread. Exactly. That's why I highlighted that level on the chart. It is a crucial level. It is a very, very crucial level. Look, this is the higher time frame, right? This is the weekly time frame. We dump down to this level. That's why I have it highlighted on my chart, because if Bitcoin starts getting significant like daily closes back in this level, then we start talking about targeting the 200-day moving average found right above $83,500. So it is a significant level for us to reclaim. If we can reclaim it, things will be looking solid for Bitcoin to get continuation to the upside. So the levels that I have on the chart aren't random. They're very, very important levels for us to consider a potential reversal in the market, or for us to consider continuation. Dread mining, it doesn't matter. I hold Bitcoin, as I've said time and time again. Rally will continue till everyone is bullish. Surely if most people think we're bearish, the big players make money by flipping bullish. Yep, absolutely. New subscriber, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Legends, if you want access to all of my trades or how I am currently operating in the market, you do have the first link in my description down below. If you DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram, you're able to join my private group where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis. You sign up with one of these links down below, trade on there as you normally do with any crypto exchange, and you're trading with your own money, of course, and you get access to the group if that interests you, of course. Do you think market is more bullish right now as a whole or bearish? The reason why more bullish as a whole or more bearish. So it really depends, right? Take a look at this on the 1-day time frame. So more locally, there's a bigger cluster of shorts up to around $82,000. More locally here. Now, on the higher time frames, you'll notice that there is significantly more longs in the market. So to me, overall, with the structure, market structure intact and from the bearish side, I'm still bearish. It's a bear market relief rally, in my opinion. I know this is very, very difficult for some people to understand because, you know, Bitcoin pumped 20K from the lows. That's not a move to ignore, obviously. But I've seen it play out time and time again to the point where I can't in good faith tell you that I'm expecting much higher for Bitcoin, because I'm not. Yeah, spot doesn't matter at the moment. I'm just looking at levels to trade. Fair. Did you memorize this line? Which line? Funding rates being negative is completely irrelevant, in my opinion, simply because in a bull market, funding rates can remain positive. So to me, it doesn't really matter. That's one of the lower end metrics that I use. Purchase media, I answered your question. Based on what I'm reading on X, I think the sentiment is basically 50-50. However, on my YouTube channel, I've been vocally bearish. And so now when I do a poll, you can see that most people are bearish. So if you're piling into shorts here, please be careful, especially without any kind of invalidation. It looks likely we're going to sweep those highs. Bull near term, bear longer term. Any opinion on ETH? Yeah, look, if Bitcoin keeps pushing, ETH can keep pushing towards that $2,400 level. But again, I mainly look at Bitcoin because it determines the rest of the market. Bro, why don't you give one trade a month to YouTube community? That would bring a lot of subs. The reason I have my community in the way that I do is because it helps me weed out the people that are a little bit less serious. And I already, like, look, if I post a trade and I lose a trade, I'm losing my own capital, and it sucks for me, on top of the fact that I have people messaging me when a trade isn't going well. Like, I don't need that kind of extra stress on YouTube as well. It's just not worth it from my perspective. So I'm doing this to try to help everyone and just share my overall market analysis, but it's not particularly necessary. I could just, I don't know, enjoy summer. Maybe I'll take a little bit of time off in the summer as well, and then come back when I think Bitcoin has bottomed. But right now, I think it's important to monitor this price action. I've talked about my thesis time and time again, and now it's just a matter of being patient, in my opinion. So is ETH worth holding spot like Bitcoin long term? I'm not going to say yes or no, because in my opinion, most of your spot portfolio should be allocated towards Bitcoin. And most people have forgotten that concept, which is silly, because when I joined crypto, it was always like 80, 90% of your crypto portfolio needs to be Bitcoin. If you want to hold ETH, you can. Totally up to you. I hold a little bit of ETH, but as a long-term investor, I mainly believe in Bitcoin. I've had a lot of, let me just give you guys some, it's easier to say in hindsight, but if you've been in my community, you know that you have the receipts. So let's just talk about the minor stressors, I should say, of running a community like I'm doing and sharing my trades publicly. Number one, when a trade goes against me, not only am I disappointed because I am losing capital, I try to make it, I don't want to make it seem like I am fully stress-free. I'm accepting the amount of capital that I can lose per trade. However, it still sucks to lose a trade. And number two, the stress of, I know that even though I strongly recommend against it, people will just try to copy exactly what I'm doing. So because of that, there was periods here in this trend where I shorted Bitcoin at around $123,000, and I didn't share it in my community even after having this community, because I was so stressed about what people would think about me if I were to enter a new trade. And I've tried to be better in that sense because but getting used to trading in public has been difficult. So then I secured profits on the way down. I went very long on Bitcoin at around $83,000. Rode this trend, took profits on the way up, shorted aggressively here right when we tapped into the bull market support band. It took a few attempts, got stopped out at break even quite a few times, and then took a lot of profits on my Bitcoin short at around $63,000. That was actually on a live stream as well. The only part in this whole bear market cycle that I regret a little bit is not getting my long entry at around 65K because I marked it as a very key level. And a lot of people took advantage of it in the community and made money on that long trade. And now I'm just holding on to some swing shorts. So this is the only regret right down here. Sorry for the ugly drawings. But it is stressful to run a community, share my own trades, potentially lose money on my trades. When you win, you're the hero. When you lose, everyone just hates you. So it's not easy. Anyone that says it's easy should try doing it. Because ultimately you feel responsible for other people. The most profitable community members are the ones that see if my analysis matches their own analysis, and then they take a trade based on what they think, not solely what I think. Those are the ones that have reached out to me and left great testimonials saying things like, even if I don't agree with you, your analysis combined with my own allows me to take trades with more confidence in the market. These kinds of things are important. Don't ever blindly copy anyone, whether it's myself or any other crypto guy you look up to on YouTube. It's silly to do that. J-Tin Man, I'm responsible for my own decisions. Awesome. Absolutely. That's the view you should have. Man, have you been wrong? No, I haven't, Russell. I just went over how I've been shorting the market since $123,000. I have not been wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong, and this is not one of those times, unfortunately. We also had a hater on the last stream as well. Whoever is waiting for Bitcoin to fall below 6K, we're going to be very disappointed. Institutions will not let it. Something to think about. And if you want exposure to Bitcoin, you dollar cost average into Bitcoin. I still hold a significant spot portfolio. Let's do a like check. 237 likes. Legends, this is awesome. Absolutely destroy that like button. Destroy that like button. Smash it. Let's see if we can get to 400 this live stream. That would be amazing. This is great content. Thank you. I appreciate it. I put a lot of effort in the content. There's some days where I don't even want to publish, and I just do because I know that some of you are expecting an update as well, even when not much has changed. But this is a nice pump. Mate, in your trading career, how long it took you to become profitable? It took me a few years to become reliably profitable. But you know what they say when it comes to trading? It doesn't take a year to find a winning strategy with backtesting and things like that. It doesn't take 6 months. It can take a lot less. But most of the years are spent with risk management, emotional regulation, these kinds of things. It's not an easy thing to do. And if you're a notoriously emotional individual, it can be very, very challenging. The light just turned off. I'm going to flick it back on. One moment. Oh. Make a tutorial about risk management. Will do. Best case scenario is no one is bearish and Bitcoin just dumps. But because there are some people that are bearish, and especially looking at my my poll, yeah, I don't like it. Tutorial for emotions. I could actually do that too. I think that would be very helpful. Retail is bearish. Exactly, Devault. I don't like it when retail is bearish, if I'm bearish. And when I'm bullish, I hope that retail is bearish. So, I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe that's what we need to do for the algorithm. I need to tell everyone that I am bullish. So, guys, pack it up. It's time to go long. I am really, really bullish on Bitcoin. I think that this is the super cycle. I actually think altcoin season is going to be the, everyone's going to get caught off guard. Altcoin season is happening now. As Bitcoin dominance continues to skyrocket. Maybe I maybe I actually take a long position live and then we let that one just get liquidated. And then the shorts can play out. Let's see. I don't know, guys. I still think this is a higher time frame bear market relief rally, and on the higher time frame, we will likely reject. But I hold my spot Bitcoin in case. I hold my spot Bitcoin in case. You're now an institutional manipulator. Manipulator is a funny thing. I've had some people, some of you guys say, man, like, you need to stop doing what you're doing because you're manipulating the markets. I wish I had that kind of control over the markets. Let's be real. Okay, for the market makers that are listening, I'm going long right now. I am going long right now. Go, 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 go. These are my targets. If you're a market maker, I am this is my target. Watch this trade actually play out. This is it. With stop loss down to 77K. I'm going long. I'm going long. No, I shouldn't do this, especially if there's new people coming to the stream. Go, 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 go. Look, Michael, could an attack on Cuba pull Bitcoin to 60K? Isn't that too obvious? You're not going to have me talking about potential attacks, if, ands, and buts. I already don't even like talking about what's happening between Iran and the US on the channel that much, but I do because I know a lot of people are interested in it. But we're holding above 80K. This is to me, this is not bearish. But let's see. Harshit Rajput. Jean de Machin, do I take peptides? No, but I have a couple of friends that actually do, and the benefits are overwhelmingly positive. So maybe I'll consider at some point. But I am content with my my physique and my recovery and all of those things. So not necessary quite yet. I think if we break the 80.5K and retest, it's time for a long to 83.5K. It's possible. It's possible. I wanted to get back to Harshit here. So what we discussed earlier was the fact that in 2022, we literally got closes above the bull market support band. Now, we got 2 closes above the bull market support band and then rejected massively. And the rally into the 200-day moving average, around a 47% rally. Then we dropped much further. This time around, the only thing that is preventing me from adding to my existing short position, because we got 2 weekly closes above the bull market support band, is the fact that we have the 200-day moving average up to here. So like, to me, I don't know if we can go ahead and tap into that level, but I want to remain open-minded. And because in 2022, we managed to come down here, like the 200-day moving average was already pretty close to where the price action was, and we rejected between the two, that made for a better short setup, in my opinion. Let's see. What did I want to... Are you an introvert or extrovert? I actually don't know. Because I have to be honest, guys, I enjoy... The most fun that I have is playing sports. But when it comes to like actively chatting all the time and doing that kind of stuff, I'm not necessarily one to do that. I'm pretty reserved. And after a long live stream, and I go back and I talk to my girlfriend, for example, I feel like I can hardly speak. So I'm using all my energy towards you guys right now, even though it might not seem like it. I think the market makers heard us. I like omelets. The market makers heard us. I am curious. You are successful and don't need the money from YouTube, obviously. So why take on the stress of filming? Because when I entered the crypto space, I found that there was a general lack of authentic traders. I felt like I could have used so much more and so much better content to help guide me in the markets. And I'm trying to create the content that I wish I had when I initially joined the crypto space. You guys can see as well, like on YouTube, I don't even have my YouTube ads on. And most videos are getting between, I don't know, 3 to 6,000 views. It's pretty good revenue considering I'm posting every single day. So yeah, I just want to, honestly, I just want to help people out. And that's what it is. And I think I can do so by trading the market. The only issue that I've encountered is, again, I just really don't like it when people only copy my trades. And that's the only reason they watch the content. You have to match my analysis with your own and see if it makes sense for you. I promise you one thing, I will be wrong. I've been wrong before, I will be wrong again. If I was always right, well, I would be worth $1 billion, which I am not. So it's very, very important to see what analysis makes sense to you, and then try on your own, look at the charts, spend some time really reflecting, and look at historical patterns, look at the data, and try and make your own informed decisions in this market. And if you already have some kind of, let's say, informed decision in the market, and then you tune into my video and I'm saying something completely different because my analysis happens to bring something else to the table, then maybe you try to incorporate that into your own analysis. But please, please don't blindly copy anyone in this market. It's just foolish to do, in my opinion, especially if you're new to trading, because that's a trap. I've done that when I first started as well, jumping into the crypto industry, just thinking I could just blindly copy someone, and then you get wrecked and you're just devastated. Crypto King, awesome. Yeah. I mean, I'm very, very close with the Mind Pillar guys. Like, I'm actually going to go visit Andy in Spain this summer as well. Like, I absolutely love them. Devolt's a legend as well. So we have different trading styles, but we do work together. There's probably some point in time where I'll be more integrated within the Mind Pillar community. I think that's possible. Did we got the 1 hour close below 80K. So now let's see. Probably just going to consolidate. It's Will Anderson. When you were just trading and had a lot more free time, did you have a moment where you felt like you needed something to fulfill you? Yes, that's one of the reasons as to why I started the YouTube channel. Because honestly, especially as a swing trader, you don't take on that many positions in the market. A lot of the times it's taking on a trade and waiting for it to play out, rather than scalping on the 15-minute time frames and things like that, which I did used to do to get in the habit of trading and actually get decent at it. So yeah, 100%. Because otherwise I would just be doing nothing right now. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what we get from Bitcoin here. A close above, closes back below, another close above, and now this is going to be interesting price action. Seb, we are a team. I'm not within the Mind Pillar community yet, but I talk to them all the time. We're very close with each other. Fettuccini, thank you for the kind words. Your explanations and the emphasis on risk management is great. You teach us how to survive. Then the tips you also share, such as setting stops at break even, have been killer. Thank you. Yeah, that's something else I like to do when I have a favorable trade, and especially if it's just like a sweep and I'm not, I don't want to take on any additional stress and risk losing capital. Oftentimes before I go to sleep at night, I'll just move my trades with their stop loss to break even, assuming I got favorable price action. And it helps me sleep stress-free as well. I am a newbie and you helped me a bunch. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. All right, I joke about it, but seriously, how do you recover from big losses? It really depends how big of a loss, because I've gone through periods where I've taken breaks from the market and come back afterwards, you know? That's the great thing about the crypto market. It's always going to be there. Same with all markets. And so you can take a break for as long as you need and then come back in a better state of mind. So recovering from big losses is, let's see, we're at 273 likes. Absolutely awesome, legends. Can we get us to above 300 likes and then above 400 likes? But let's get to 300 likes first. Most of the poll is bearish. So I'm assuming most of you guys have been watching me on YouTube, if that's your thought process, because there's a whole other side that are bullish. But let's see. Yeah. So I've encountered some pretty significant losses, and honestly, just taking time off the charts has helped me massively. And then you start with adopting proper risk management, because again, you shouldn't have big losses in proportion to your trading portfolio size unless it's continuous 1% losses stacked on top of each other. The Beast Aesthetics. What do you think about chart champion Daniel? I personally have him in my top traders in crypto space, including you. I like chart champions. He's a good guy. He's actually been pretty solid in the sense of I think that long that I was looking to execute on that I didn't manage to, he managed to get into the long at $65,000. And he's been remaining pretty bullish in the market. The only thing with him is I find rarely does he say like, hey, I took this trade. It's always like after the fact. So he'll post something and say, I'm looking to do this at this level. And then in his next piece of content, it'll be like, I'm in the trade. So he kind of like lets you fend for yourself, which is arguably even better. And I might consider doing that at some point rather than saying, hey, I am now in this trade, share my analysis and say where I would look to enter a trade if X happens. It's a different way of doing things, but he's a solid guy. Seems like a good lad. David Garin. I don't know who said 40K. Guys, just because I show you numbers, it doesn't mean it has to happen. Jeez. I've never been vocal about a 40K Bitcoin. I've accumulated sub 30K, between 15 and 30K. That I've been vocal about. But if you're talking about my higher time frame view, it was this. Because no one has a crystal ball, this is how I currently view the Bitcoin price action. I want to accumulate sub 60K, and I will slowly DCA in. But if we do get more aggressive move to the downside below 50K, this is ultimately what I'm looking at here. I still have a sizable Bitcoin portfolio, to make it clear. So if you have no exposure and you're looking to get exposure and you think that Bitcoin could be headed lower, this could be a zone where you go more aggressively. Not financial advice, of course, just sharing with you what I am personally doing in this market. Please remember this. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I was not particularly eager to accumulate Bitcoin in the below 70K simply because I have Bitcoin already. What is your biggest profit from a trade you have ever made? Biggest profit. Probably just under 400K. That's why I've been talking about my Bitcoin short, and I want to make it a 400K or a 500K realized trade. This one is what I want to do. What is your dream car? Probably some kind of Bugatti or like a Pagani Zonda. How about biggest loss? My biggest loss, I think I shared it in my community. By the way, guys, win or lose all the trades that I personally take in this market, you can see them in my premium group. It is free. It's where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis. If you DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram, you'll be able to join my group where I share all of those trades. And the only requirement is that you've signed up with one of the affiliate exchange links down below. There's tons of great bonuses. If you're already trading on an exchange that isn't in this list, honestly, I would just recommend making Bluffin your go-to exchange, or 2bit for that matter, or Weeks or Velto. Really, all you have to do is you trade with your own capital and you're able to get access to my group. But I think my biggest loss, I think it was just over 100K. It might have been over 100K. So I don't want you guys to hear that and think it's anything ridiculous, because it's all in relation to your own portfolio size. What's up with the Bybit scamwick? What do you mean? The Bybit scamwick, dread mining, what do you mean? What are you referring to? I don't know what you're talking about. Bybit scamwick. There is something I wanted to cover. What did I want to talk about? Bybit USD chart. Where is it? This one. Looks pretty normal to me, no? Oh, that's the wrong one. Anyways, I'm going to go back to this one. I wanted to take a look. If you don't accumulate as much Bitcoin as you would like, will you be looking to trade stocks not after and leftover cash or stay strictly in crypto? I don't know. I feel like I have an edge in crypto in general. And so I don't need to trade other asset classes, although I have done previously. We pumping. Sailor man. Let's see. I trade $10 to a $100 or more with high leverage like 500x. I have a short on my channel as well. My question is, I'm pretty consistent at doing that, but as soon as I try to do it with 100, I fail. It's a question of like, is it a mindset thing or what? It really depends, because again, it's all about the capital that you're using and what you're comfortable with, right? So if you're trading with $5 and $5 is a lot of capital to you, then naturally you'll be a little bit more stressed and perhaps you won't be able to execute as you'd like to. If $1,000 is a lot of money to you, then same thing. $100,000, $1 million, it doesn't matter. It's all in relation to your own capital size, right? So I guess what I'm trying to get at is, if that's a number that you're not comfortable with, then naturally there will be some worse trades with that capital, which is why the $10 trades don't seem to affect you. That's just my guess, at least. I wanted to show you guys this one. So USDT and USDC dominance. We're right at a pivotal support level. This is the bull market support band. When stablecoin dominance increases, Bitcoin drops. However, when we have a dump in stablecoin dominance, naturally, this coincides with Bitcoin's recent pump. And so it is my expectation that this rally for stablecoin dominance will likely continue after carving out a local low around this zone. So it might drop a little bit lower, but I do think that ultimately this will start pumping. And that's bearish for crypto. Save the Republic USA. The reason I'm also looking at total stablecoin market cap. I like that better than just USDT, because USDC is pretty significant as well. So you add both of them together and you get a clearer picture, in my opinion, of course. Oops. Pumpy price action. Brother, what is our resistance from here? What is our resistance from higher here? Our resistance from here is quite clear to me. One, we have this level. Let me zoom out. $80,600. This is resistance because it's the bottom of the previous range where Bitcoin got that bounce. Longed here, shorted here, missed the long here, just to remind you guys. Then the most significant resistance, in my opinion, is found at the 200-day moving average. So if we get all the way up here, that is a significant resistance zone, in my opinion. That's what I'm looking at from a swing trading perspective. Curtis, the added value of that is to just see how stablecoin dominance is performing. Yes, of course, it's inversely correlated. We know that. But if it's tapping into a significant support level, like for example, Bitcoin is currently above its own bull market support band. And if we take a look at alts in general, they're currently sitting at below their bull market support band, which means Bitcoin has been outperforming alts. And then taking a look at stablecoin dominance, we're sitting right at the bull market support band. So in a bear market, the crypto market in general struggles right around the bull market support band, but stablecoin dominance holds around this level. And it's important for me to consider the fact that this can be a potential area where stablecoin dominance holds, therefore a potential region where the crypto market struggles a little bit. Then the next area here is, again, the 200-day moving average, which this would equal, 84K BTC, something, or 83.5, something around here. So I just like to assess both. Hey, income tax department here. Good thing I am based out of Dubai. Do you think at least we will have a healthy correction? Okay, so this line of questioning makes me think that maybe people are turning a little bit bullish, or like devastated that Bitcoin hasn't gone lower. Let's see. I do think that this is a bear market relief rally, to reiterate my point. Dun, dun, dun. Got the alert. I'm not in Dubai at the moment. Fake move Monday. Another sharp rejection. I don't know, guys. Another potential entry on a trade here would be something like this. So sweep, acceptance back below, enter. I don't like this price action where we're just like not claiming the highs. So this is kind of like no trade for me. Like, see here, I would like to see us claim the highs, even though I have a small scalp short from here. So I would get stopped out if we hit that, actually. And of course that will be shared within the group, but my higher time frame trade is the same. We're looking. Like, just take the high. I'm going to actually leave an update in my group right now. My stop loss is set in profit, though I am protected. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Good 1 hour close for stocks. Great question, Daniel Duran. Let's talk about it. Looking back at prior bear markets, what kind of percentage gains have bear market rallies typically produced, and how closely does current sentiment resemble those setups? Very closely. So if we take a look at previous bear markets, let me just give you the common example that I gave at the beginning of this live stream. This was in 2022, where Bitcoin rallied literally 47% into the bull market support band, closing 2 weekly candles above it and then rejecting right below the 200-day moving average. 46, 47% rally, depending on which chart you're looking at. This rally that we're seeing here, yep, it is a significant rally, but as we can see here, this was another 35% rally so far. So only time will tell, but my expectation is that we will likely experience a rejection. Now the question is, from where? Because Bitcoin can easily climb up, and this time around, we have the 200-day moving average right at $83,500, and the bull market support band is actually a little bit lower. So maybe we can climb up to here before potentially rejecting. That's what I'm currently looking at. Crypto Claudius, a German YouTuber that can be described as very retail, is also currently trapped in his short at 79.5K with 1 million position size. I mean, did he just enter his short? Very interesting. I mean, I took profits on my short. If I have to close at a loss, it's fine. It'll just eat a little bit into my profits, but I'm totally fine. But Chichan, you've been pretty solid lately. Like, you've been talking about a lot of longs within the middle of this range. So I'm sure your longs are doing well, right? Just checking in. Outlook on ETH. ETH is weaker than Bitcoin, currently at its own bull market support band. So Bitcoin is like right here on the ETH chart. ETH is still, struggling below its bull market support band. This looks like we have to break, right? Yes, I still believe in the Bitcoin cycle. Hello, as a newbie trader, I'm learning exactly what a trader thinks during a trade. What indicators do you use? Are they special for you, or can we use them as well? You can use them as well. I just like to look for the highest level of confluence on the chart. So the biggest one would be looking at the volume profile. I really like that to get entries on my trades, as well as important moving averages, resistance, and support levels. And the way that I do it is I try to find the utmost confluence before entering a trade, especially if it's a higher time frame swing trade. So if I go on the weekly time frame, as a new trader, I'm just going to give you the example because this was a better example. I went short on Bitcoin here. Now, you guys have heard me talk about this for months now, so you're probably tired of it, especially if you've been tuning into the channel for quite some time. But I shorted Bitcoin here, effectively betting on the price going lower. We had a bull market support band here. We were at the top of the existing range, and I believe there was the anchored VWAP as a confluence level as well. And we had a lot of people jumping into longs at that point in time. So let me just anchored VWAP. My gosh. So from all-time high, you can see this light blue line, this anchored VWAP. We tapped basically right into it, right into the bull market support band. So when a bunch of levels cross over like this, it usually gives you a really good indication that we could experience a rejection, especially if the trend has been confirmed to be a downtrend. After losing this anchored VWAP, we had an aggressive move, big move back up, awesome zone to go short again. So this time around, the anchored VWAP is actually just above the 200-day moving average. Imagine being ugly like a redhead. Bro, I'm not redhead. Rajred, you've been spreading hate constantly on the channel. If you can't manage your own positions in this market, you can feel free to leave. If you solely blame one person for your positioning in the market, it's very clear that you shouldn't be watching this kind of YouTube content. And you can feel free to watch someone else. I'm doing my best to guide everyone as much as I can. And you have to also understand that if you just jumped into the live stream, last bear market, we had a 47% rally before dropping further. So if you piled into a short, just because I was in a short from much higher, you have yourself to blame. And I'm not going to back away from that. If you guys want to spread, if some people want to spread hate, I have no issue clapping back. Especially if you guys watched the live stream on Friday, there was one guy that was just, yeah. Anyways, no, it's fine. I don't necessarily block anyone. They could leave their comments, but I'll just clap back. It's totally fine. What is your leverage you normally use? I normally use most of the time like 10x, but it's all about the capital size. Leverage is irrelevant depending on how you're trading. It's mainly your capital size, or it's entirely your capital size. That's the most important part, in my opinion. So you could use a gazillion X leverage if you want, but as long as you know that you're risking X percentage of your trading portfolio, whether that's 1% up to 5%, depending on your experience trading. Yeah. Is holding opposite positions a kind of psychological trick? Kusher, I'm not sure what you mean by this. Like, do you mean holding positions in red? Holding opposite. Oh, you mean like when you're going long and short? No, not at all. Not at all. So I'll give you a great example of holding opposite positions. And by the way, you can do this on Bluffin. If you want to sign up to Bluffin, you know where to find it. Second link in the description down below. Most good exchanges have this, but it's called hedging. So I'll give you a great example. You could have been shorting Bitcoin for months from, say, $98,000. You entered a big Bitcoin short, let's say. You took profits on the way down responsibly, and when we tapped into the value area low of the existing range, you thought, I actually think Bitcoin can squeeze higher here. even though you may think that Bitcoin will be dropping lower on the higher time frames. And so the way that you can do this is you can enter a long while still being in a short, and you could be taking profits on this relief rally, ultimately still expecting Bitcoin to top from around this zone. So that's one way you can do it. And I've done it before. So it's not necessarily a psychological trick. It's just a way to maximize profits in the market. Because let's say you had your stop loss to break even and you took profits on the way down and you entered a trade here, a long trade. Well, if this just keeps on rallying and this position gets stopped out and you've taken profits on the way down, then you also stand to benefit from the upside. I typically don't recommend it for people that haven't traded before, but it is a viable thing to do. Apparently, Coinbase doesn't let you hedge perpetuals. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't trade on Coinbase. Guys, you know where I trade by now. Second link in the description down below. Bluffin is my go-to. You can earn up to 50K in withdrawable bonuses. I've held millions of dollars on the exchange before. I currently do. You can see here there's around 1.7 on there. I trust them. They're a great exchange. No complaints. And if that doesn't work for you, well, I also have an option for 2bit. And once you sign up and you start trading on those platforms and make it your go-to exchange, if you DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram, you'll be able to join my private group where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis, if that interests you, of course. Yeah, we have some liquidity to the upside. Look at that. We do. But we have some to the downside as well. Kusher, my pleasure. Hopefully that was helpful for you. AKA being in a schlong. Absolutely. Being in a schlong. But that's a strong daily candle for Bitcoin. There's still 6 hours left, and I don't envision live streaming 6 hours. Or 6 more hours, I should say. I'll probably go at it for another, 45 minutes, maybe an hour and a bit. Your channel is amazing, bro. Thanks for sharing such great content. Thank you very much, Davis. I appreciate you. How are we looking? I think I'm going to sell some Bitcoin, especially if we break above here. Honestly, Daniel Duran, I'm mainly in Bitcoin on that, to answer your question. Maybe a little bit, 1%, 2% exposure into other assets, but mainly Bitcoin. The other one I'm looking at is Hype. But again, I'm very, very selective about my altcoin plays. If we reject from here, the thing is, guys, it's just the 1 hour chart. You want like more significant double tops are like this, where it's like 4 hour time frame, daily time frame were apart like this, right now this just looks like a strong candle. Like, let's not kid ourselves. I would be shocked if we don't sweep the highs. It's annoying that we're not even making it there. Trump just released a statement. Why still hoarding? Hoarding. My bad, guys. I'm still getting used to trying to do the longer live streams. Why still holding short on Tau? Give more insights. My insight is that if my base case is that Bitcoin will drop, it will take the rest of the market with it. I have a great entry on Tau at 323. I've secured around 150K profit on the way down, and I'm playing with the unrealized profits. My stop loss is at break even, so the only thing that I'm risking here is the unrealized profits. However, if Bitcoin rejects and Tau can't manage to pump up to 323, which is still a significant move from 281 up to that level, well, Tau will likely drop lower. Structurally, from a weekly time frame perspective, it's creating lower highs and it created lower lows. And therefore, my expectation is that if Bitcoin rejects, so will Tau, and I'll be happy that I kept this position open. At the worst case scenario, I made 150K on this trade. So that's I hope that answered your question. From a risk to, like, I'm just happy with the profits I took, and the rest is play money. And guys, that trade was also shared in my community. So you know where to find me if you're interested in seeing how I trade the market. DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram to be able to join my private group. Why are you selling your Bitcoin? Carl Gang. The reason I am selling some Bitcoin above 80K is because I purchased a lot of my Bitcoin between $15,000 and $30,000. I took some profits on the way up in this bull market at around above 110 up to 120, and then I didn't get rid of the ideal amount of Bitcoin that I could have gotten rid of. I don't like saying get rid of, profited from, let's say. So I'm still sitting at a net profit from the bear market lows. And I think that this is a bear market relief rally. And so I'd like to reduce my Bitcoin holding if Bitcoin is to reject from around this zone. But I'll still keep some, just letting you guys know what I'm doing. Everyone has their own position in the market. I understand it's not feasible for everyone to do something like that. Some people bought Bitcoin at 120K. So, no, I'm still holding my Bitcoin short position. And if we head higher, I'm willing to add to the position. My swing short, that is. My scalp will get stopped out, probably. Let's see. How are we doing in terms of likes, Legends? Are we over 300? We got to be over 300. 312. Guys, this is awesome. Can we get to 400? There's 288 of you watching right now. And if we can get to 400 likes, it would be absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. Come on, Legends. Bitcoin is just hovering. There's these periods in the stream where this happens, where we just hover around, and I would be shocked if we don't sweep the highs, to be honest. Rackets. Michael Bannock, I think you've said that a couple times. Too stopped to be worried, too worried about trades, just not sleep for 48 hours. sleep 40. I don't understand the question. New Ondo short, are you still in the Bitcoin dominance long? No, I am not in the Bitcoin dominance long, and I'm actually a little bit annoyed because we kept on just rallying and I had such a great entry. But Mohammed, my guy, you don't need to write in all caps. Yes, I still think that ultimately Bitcoin has a high probability of claiming the lows. I don't think that that was the bottom. Only the patient will survive. Mega Rage, I'll just call you Mega Rage. If Bitcoin goes to the 200 daily MA, then we break this ascending channel bear flag structure. Yes and no, because it's totally normal for Bitcoin to have fake outs outside of these kinds of structures as well. Insomnia cures stress. Mine Landia server. I'm not 100% sure we'll get there. There's a chance we don't get there. Trading is all about probabilities, right? They are waiting for something to pump and dump. Are you considering a scalp short if we take the high? Yeah, I am. I'm actually going to message in my community right now. I forgot to do so. Higher time frame positions remain untouched. Okay. Shared in the group. Alts aren't pumping for shit. How have you been? Remember that thing you said about my fifth? Oh, pro head shots. That's a valid one where we said like if we take the highs, then perhaps it increases the probability of a further pump. Yeah, it's possible. My view is that if Bitcoin manages to hold above the range highs, there's a chance here that we can push even higher to the 200-day moving average, because that's happened previously in bear markets. That's how I'm currently looking. That's what I'm currently looking at. And remember that, who else? Volume seems to be dropping. Yep, volume is dropping a little bit. This is 15-minute time frame, right? You got to take that with a grain of salt. That's why I like swing trading. You look at the higher time frames. Still, the volume is overall dropping, but this was a pretty big spike today. So we have to see if this move sustains, because right now it's looking strong. Looks strong. When is the price at a level that will hit FOMO back to all-time high? Great question. I don't know. Do you play paddle as well or only tennis? I've played paddle a couple times, but honestly, I think that tennis takes a little bit more skill, and so I like to keep on playing tennis. I also rip some ping pong. I like pickleball as well with friends. It's like more a casual thing, but tennis is more like competitive. Let me just... The Action Tourist, in case you don't mind repeating that, of course, how have you been viewing this recent pump? I've been viewing this recent pump as a bear market relief rally. It's still the same to me. It's still the same. And I know a lot of people get excited with these moves. I just think it's important to be cautious in the way that you approach the market at these levels. I want to desperately be a perma bull. And over the long term, I am for Bitcoin. But right now, I have to say that the probabilities favor the bear market narrative to play out of this cycle. But it takes time. It takes time. And given the fact that a lot of people are also bearish, it makes me question it a little bit, of course. But we talked about all the charts. This is a very interesting one. And it's how Bitcoin typically plays out in midterm years. And you'll notice that we're right at the highs of like this one standard deviation from the mid-range here of the average. So it's sooner rather than later, but let's see. Why so many Bitcoins are bought by Michael Saylor and BlackRock, but Bitcoin doesn't explode? They buy OTC, but with their stretch product, I don't think that's the case. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But Bitcoin's been doing well. What do you mean? Like, this is a great rally. Come on. Yeah, Buffett is sitting on almost $400 billion in cash. That is pretty significant. Texting a community member while live. Guys, if you're trading with a significant amount of capital, like I have no issue chatting with you one-on-one, as long as you've signed up with one of the affiliate exchange links down below. So if you're trading with over 25K, you get added to my DMs and I message you back and forth, just as an added perk as well, if that interests you. And you get access to the community, of course. You're trading with your own capital. Let's go. Sitting on. Looks strong. Looks strong. Sweep the highs. Oh my gosh. Surely it's going to sweep the highs, right? Come on. It's going to do it. Imagine it doesn't sweep the highs. Don Harold, you don't need that much capital to join the community. That's just if you want me to get back to you in the DMs. It's a new thing I've added because at first I was answering every single person's DMs, but now we have thousands of community members messaging me directly on Telegram, and I just can't answer everyone. It just doesn't. It doesn't work anymore. It used to, but I can't. I can't do that anymore. From a time-based perspective. Oh, come on. Sweep it. Sweep it already. Oh, there you go. We swept it. We swept it. Now I'm waiting. Now I'm waiting. Now I'm waiting. I have my charts here, so I'm looking at both sides. Now I'm waiting. Okay. Okay. I did the 5-minute confirmation, guys. Let's see. We did a cheeky scalp. We did a cheeky scalp. This is stressful trading live like this. Let me pull it up because I entered. We swept the high. Sorry for yelling. Let's see. Will it play out? Will it not play out? I'm going to stop loss. All right, guys. My stop loss is up above 81K. And I entered, I might lose a K live on stream. I might lose $1,000 live on stream. Or I might make money. I'm going to target... Yeah, guys, I also do trade on weeks, just so you know. So if you want to trade on weeks, you get 25% off all of your trading fees as well. Hopefully this trade plays out. Yes, this is just a quick scalp, guys. Like I will lose maybe $1,000 if I get stopped. Let's see. I think it's like 900. Yeah, 900 bucks. It's a smaller trade. I said I was going to do small. Let's do it. Acting like a scared girl. Yeah, it's OG Grinder. How about you trade in front of 330 people watching you? Yeah, how about you go ahead and do that? I trade with a lot more capital than that, but I don't want to get my first live trade to be a fail, you know? So let's see. OG Grinder. What a name, man. OG Grinder. Give me a break. So we swept the highs, and now we're kind of just chopping. You want to see a sharper rejection usually. I told you guys I was going to do a live trade. Hey, look, the viewers are going up. Guys, if you want my bigger trades, like the ones that I have, let's say, a lot more conviction in, you do have the first link in my description down below. It's where I trade in my private group. It is free. You're trading with your own capital, and I take on much larger positions than what you're seeing here. But let's see. Yeah, it is a tight stop loss. This is scalp, man. This is scalp. It's going to be one of those stops to break even immediately. I'm going to target this low. 2 for 1. I'm going to also something like this. I'm also going to be if we get to below 80K, I think I will pay myself the fees. Did you just start your live? No, I've been live for quite some time. I've been live for almost 3 hours. Hey, legends, smash that like button for a live trade. That's my first ever live trade. We're at 348. Let's get it to 400. Let's get it to 400. Vamos, Bitcoin. I'm going to pay myself the fees, I think. Do I do it? That was a strong... we closed below... Crypto Man, so why don't you leave it open as a swing? Because I already have a swing trade on my other account. This is a smaller trade just for the live stream. I'm going to close. This has been a 1.6163 position for Bitcoin. I'm going to close a little bit. And there you go. Realized $10 profit on stream. So I've paid myself the fees. Now let's see. So it's a 1 Bitcoin trade. Obviously, it's massive leverage because I'm only using 1.5K here. But if my stop loss is hit, I will lose just under $600 on this trade. So, Legend, someone market dump a bunch of Bitcoin, please. That would be very helpful. I have to say, though, this isn't necessarily how I approach a swing trade, but because you guys have been great on the live stream, I just thought I would do one today. And the title of the stream is a live trade, so. Imagine Saylor starts buying here. That would be funny. So the way that it works with these scalps is I like to essentially I have my stop loss a few $100 away from the wick in case we wick back up. Sometimes it gets grabbed, sometimes it doesn't. But then if Bitcoin were to go like below 80, I'll probably move my stop to break even. So yeah. But so far, not looking too great. Let's see. Just a cheeky little scalp. I am not taking advantage of a TFSA. I cannot do that because I am a resident of Dubai, or of the UAE. So it's actually not the case. Only when I come back. Hello, have you ever been recognized on the streets in Canada for that crypto guy? Oh, absolutely not. Guys, I don't even have 20,000 subscribers. I'm a nobody in crypto. Yeah, if we close like this, I don't know. I feel like this trade probably won't play out as I'd hoped. Why does it show 52x leverage? Because it is 52x leverage. That's literally why. As I said, Legends, this is just a smaller trade for the stream. For the stream. Matt, you look like Chris Bumstead. I wish. That guy's a legend. Although not particularly mobile in terms of being able to do sports, which I like. Give me an ugly 15-minute candle. None of that building up momentum. Come on. Guys. Guys, my liquidation price is like $1 million Bitcoin. I'm using almost no capital on this trade relative to the capital I have on my account. And my stop loss is at 81K. It's just for the stream, guys. Just for the stream. Let me zoom in for you. It does look strong. It does. It does look strong. Start to talk hyper bullish as you did. Maybe the price will drop. Guys, Bitcoin is going to $400,000 next week. The banana zone is here sooner than you would have expected, or later than you would have expected, I should say. Oh, it's working. Guys, it's going so much higher, so much higher. I honestly think that the bear market is over. No, please, if you're new to the channel, that's not what I think. I don't want people to think I think that. The banana zone. That's also true. Market makers can see everyone in this chat opening shorts now. We're cooked. We're cooked, guys. We're cooked. Do I take my $100 and leave? Or what? Looks pretty strong, not gonna lie. Let it ride. Would it give you stress if people full ported this? Absolutely it would. This is just a tiny scalp. Like, I like to look for bigger swing trades, and I just took this because I know you guys have been very supportive on the stream. Are you feeling any FOMO? FOMO, like in terms of pumpage? No, not at all. I have Bitcoin. I have spot Bitcoin, so I don't feel FOMO whatsoever. The lights are out. I'm going to long it so I can nuke. Yeah, go long. Guys, go max long. Max long. Is this what some of the streamers do? Do they just like enter a trade and then just effectively stay on the stream for until the trade plays out? I'm going to have to go probably in 30, 40 minutes. Get out. Do I get out? The lights are out. No, I don't consider MACD when I make my decisions. Great live trade. Thanks for sharing. Very educational. How's the weather in Canada? It's actually nice. I'm gonna go rip some tennis after this stream. Thanks for asking. To the moon. Lights out. Time to new. Go to sleep. I don't know. Looks pumpy to me. Sell all your spot Bitcoin so it dumps. Ah, now that's a good idea. If only I could manipulate the market in that way. You got stopped out on your 1% scalp long? Scalp long? My short, you mean? Yes. Oh, they're not going to give it to us, are they? We're just waiting and waiting. Oh. Da Vinci, it's an SFP short. So if you don't know, guys, if you don't know what an SFP is, it's a swing failure pattern. So we've built up these equal highs almost. We've built up these highs, I should say, sorry. And there's this liquidity built up to around here. Then Bitcoin dumped, then we pumped. And with this kind of price action, the probabilities were always favoring that we would have another move to the upside. And so usually when you have that move to the upside, what happens is if you get acceptance back in the range, there is actually a chance that we can just dump significantly from here. So from a risk to reward perspective, on the lower time frames at least, this was a valid setup for me. And that's why I shared it with you. You don't have to take it. Guys, there's too many people that watch and feel as if they need to do what I do. You don't. You can make your own decisions in this market. I'm just sharing with you what I am doing. So what can I say? It's a scalp short. So your mic quality's changed. It is good. Which mic are you using? I'm using a Shure, I think it's MV6. It's an older version actually. Exactly. This is not a copy trade channel, folks. Absolutely. Correct. Is Mark Carney a good prime minister? I don't have any opinions of him. It's just, I try to stay away from politics. Do 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 do. Guys, for the gazillionth time, this is just a scalp trade for the stream. I'm well aware of the liquidity at $81,000. This is just to show you live execution on a scalp trade SFP from the highs. I'm very well aware that we'll likely grab that liquidity. But it was a good entry and it's fine. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. As I said, it's not the normal amount of capital that I use for my trades. Bro, why are you guys asking me about Erica Kirk? Come on. Blast T-Dub. How much can you bench? Well, I like to consider myself a hybrid athlete. So I can bench over 2 plates, which I know is nothing if you're actually a gym bro, for reps, of course. But I would like to say that I can outrun most people. I'm a balanced athlete. And should we copy bench your bench? Yeah, go for it. I feel like I should have had a higher. Not bad. Not bad so far. Give me the break. Give me the break, please. That would be greatly appreciated. Next question. You on Tinder? No, I am not. I am in a relationship. Partials would be here for me. If we can manage to get there. Is there golf in Dubai? Absolutely. The golf there is just phenomenal. We're going to pump, aren't we? I think when it comes to these live trades, I need to have like even tighter stop losses and even closer take profit zones. I think that would make more sense, just because now we're sitting here just staring at the chart and I don't have much else to say because I'm in an active trade. So let's see. Love the stream even when price gives us nothing. Awesome. I am very glad you love the stream, and I'm happy that you guys are getting value out of it. That's, at the end of the day, that's all I'm trying to provide for you guys. GG to knowing who C-Bum is. I'm both surprised, but also not really surprised now. We geeks and nerds after all. Oh, come on, of course. Guys, I am an athlete at heart, and when you first get into the gym, and if you start obsessing about it, you obviously know who C-Bum is. Come on. I actually have some buddies that have met him as well. Yeah, Yeah. All the good traders in Dubai, like always. Well, the reason a lot of good traders live in Dubai is simply for tax purposes. It's a lovely place to live outside of the taxes as well. But, you know, imagine making money trading and being able to retain every single dollar that you make and not have to worry about taxes. It's it's pretty awesome, especially if you're a full-time trader like myself. So, yeah, Dubai's great. Cannot complain. Yeah, due to the war, obviously now it's a little bit meh. No, at the moment I don't have any pets because I I travel quite a bit, and so I don't want to leave my pets with other people and stuff like that to take care of them. It's not fair to give other people that responsibility, but I will probably get pets at some point. I used to have a cat and a dog within my family home, and cats and dogs together. Like a lot of people are like, oh no, I just love dogs. Oh no, I only love cats. Guys, it's awesome when they both have a relationship together. I had a cat and a dog, and they got along so well. They would tease each other. They would, like, it was just great. It was great. You'd come home, cats are so stuck up and they just like walk around like this with their head held high, and dogs are just always so excited to see you. But then they would play together, and it was great. Absolutely love that relationship. But no, not currently. I don't have any pets. Still have 1 hour to see the last minutes of volatility. Yeah, of course they allow dogs in Dubai. Oh, come on, the action tourist. You're joking, right? Everyone knows Arnold and Ronnie Coleman. Yeah, buddy. Three-hour live stream, legends. Make sure to smash that like button. It was a bit fun today because we got a little bit more exciting price action. We're at 382 likes. Guys, smash that like button if you haven't already, and make sure to join the community if you want to see how I am personally trading the markets. These little trades here and there, like, it's okay, but my bigger swing trade positions and my massive trades in this markets, well, you can find them within my group. And if you're looking for a great exchange to trade on, look no further. Bluffin, 2-Bit, Weeks, Velto, all of them are solid. Use the links in the description down below because not only do they support the channel, but you also get great bonuses and you get discounted fees across all your trades, so long as you're trading under my referral. So would highly recommend Bluffin mainly as the go-to exchange if you can access it, and 2-Bit comes a close second. Um, I mean, looks okay. Trade looks okay for now. I'm trading on weeks on this one. Um, what happened to your 80K swing short? I'm still in it. Still in it. But this is just a scalp short. Can you say hello to my daughter? What is your daughter's name? Of course I can say hello to your daughter. The Action Tourist, do you use any other tools besides TradingView? I mean, I look at the liquidity heat maps and things like that. That, of course, helps me. We're building out a tool for my community members called MindPillar Intel. And this is what I was talking about working with Andy and Devolt from MindPillar Markets. Believe me, this is going to be a great tool for trading. And my community members are going to get access to it first. So if you want access to these kinds of tools that I'll be covering on the channel at length, you have to join the community. It is a free community. You're trading with your own capital, but I'm just letting you know we're building out these tools. But for the most part, TradingView gives you what you want and what you need. There's not too much of a need for much more. You have all the indicators. Anything you want can be put on TradingView. Davisha? Not sure if I pronounced that well, but hello, Davisha. And thank you for the father for jumping on the stream. All right, guys. As per usual, right before the 15-minute candle close, we get a little bit of a wick. Typical stuff. Typical. Yeah, the Action Tourist. I will say though, look, I'm never gonna build a tool that's like, hey guys, this is the best tool in the market and you need to use this tool and you need to pay me $500 a month to be able to use this tool. I'm not gonna do that crap. The point of this, what we're building, is to have an overall dashboard of what's currently going on in the market, and it helps for some higher time frame perspective. So it's not going to be one of those tools that says long now, short now, like that kind of nonsense. I think that that's a load of crap. But higher time frame tools can provide a lot of help in navigating these kinds of markets. So, anyways, I just thought I'd share that. It's not going to be like the algorithms and that kind of stuff. Champions League final is not on Wednesday. Is it? What? No, they still got this. They still got the second legs to play. No. So they got the second legs. No, the Wednesday one is the second leg, semifinal. You mean? Semifinal. Because I was gonna say they still got to play the both legs. I'm also ready to watch the horrible football that that Atletico Arsenal game. Actually, it wasn't as bad as most people would have expected. That wick might be the long. Guys, let me know right now, do I close this first live trade with a profit of $200? Do I wait till I get stopped out? Do I go long? Because this looks constructive here on the lower time frames. Again, this is just a fun little trade, not taking this too seriously. Yeah, Wednesday is Bayern. Amar, close it. We have one, close it. Close it. Flip long. Hodl. I would close it. Close with profit. Get out with profit while you can. Go long. All right, you know what? We'll do that. We will do, I will close 50% of it. I will close 50% of it. So I made $100, and I'm going to move my stop to break even, but I find it highly likely that we tap into it again. But let's see. So we do 80,000 for 80,000 for 22, 24. There you go. All right. Stop loss to break even, chilling. Made $100 on stream. Happy about that. Depending on how things go, I may consider to do like bigger trades on stream, but cut me some slack, guys. Cut me some slack. First live trade on stream. Are there guys? Do you guys know a lot of good live traders that do this? Yeah, I was on the 5-minute chart to get some more fun price action. Because right now we were just like chopping and chopping and chopping around. You put your money where your mouth is. I respect that. Absolutely, man. I mean, what, you know, at the beginning of the stream, I talked about how I just want to produce. Here's the thing. At the beginning of the stream, I talked about why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I want to just produce the best and the content that I was looking for when I joined the industry. And a lot of the times, you'll see on Twitter so many guys posting 8 different scenarios with charts. Oh, here's my stop loss. Here's my validation. Are you actually trading with money or what? It's so frustrating when people just don't trade at all and they just post a bunch of different scenarios and then they highlight the one that they had right. When I'm wrong, I lose money. When I'm right, I make money. So that's what I wish I could have followed when I originally joined the industry. So that's what I'm doing here today. I will be wrong. I promise you guys, I will be wrong. But the important thing for me is I'm right more than I am wrong with my TA. And this allows me to consistently gain profits over time, despite having some losses along the way. And that's trading, right? Yeah, they do fake P&L online. Yeah, I saw Chento trades as well, the action tourist. That guy had a massive position, like bigger than my positions in this market too. And I haven't seen that many people back it up. Like there's huge traders in the market. Like Crypto is an OG and he trades with crazy capital. Are we looking? Are we at 400 likes? Guys, absolutely awesome legends. 396. Let's make it to 400 likes. Let's do it. Let's do it. So what now? Well, what now is I took 50% profits. I covered my fees. My stop loss is at break even. And now, excuse the language, I sit on my ass and I just wait to see what happens. It's a smaller trade again. This is just for entertainment purposes. Monica Huber, my starting capital was a few $1,000s. And the reason I say a few thousand is because I had a very good job to help supplement my trading. And I've always recommended this. I don't think that it makes sense to just jump into trading and expect that to be the be all end all and not work a job at the same time. It's unrealistic, in my opinion, to make it big trading if you don't have extra capital supplementing that endeavor. The Action Tourist. Crypto is an OG in the industry. He makes some funny faces on the thumbnails and stuff, but really, he trades with serious size, like much bigger size than me. But he got into the industry very, very early and made a bunch of money. And yeah, but he is one of the biggest traders that I've seen around, and he backs it up. Like he opens up $1 million positions often. And he's been wrong before, as many traders are, but he's been pretty solid. I think because of the goofy thumbnails and stuff, people tried to discredit him, but he's actually solid. Hello, Matt. Hey, Matt. Hello from Australia. Been watching your channel and trades. Enjoying great profits, mate. Enjoying great profits. Keep up the hard work. Thank you so much for your support, John. 3521. I appreciate you, mate. My goal is to only have to work 30 hours at my job. Doubt I'll ever get to quit, but maybe. Oil at 120. Middle East Ronaldo or MLS Messi? Guys, growing up, I mean, I'm a United supporter, right? So growing up, I watched Ronaldo, Rooney, and all of these guys just tear shit up at United. But as I really got older, you just cannot ignore Messi's brilliance. Like it's just abnormal. Ronaldo is like the iconic athlete, but in terms of pure technical ability, can't match Messi. And I think the nail in the coffin was winning that World Cup. What a way to do it at that age as well. Crazy, man. Don't get me started talking about football. You guys I'm seeing, as I talk about football, the viewers, I have it on my right here. The concurrent viewers are just dropping because I'm not trading. But I am trading. The trade is right there. And we've been live streaming for 3 hours and 20 minutes, which is more than Friday's live stream. And I'm trying to build up a tolerance here. I really want to get in the habit of doing longer live streams, hopefully with some more trades. Aren't you Canadian though? Aren't you Canadian though? How are you a football guy? It's funny you say that. All my friends are hockey guys, big hockey guys. And yeah, that is Canadian culture. But I have family from South America. I have family from Egypt, France, that kind of region. And that's where the football comes from. Ever since I had a ball on my foot, I was just in love with it. and I never pivoted to hockey or anything else. It was borderline, like it was obsessive. I just played football. Like I played for my university team, and yeah. Now I have a little bit of an injury, but I'm looking forward to getting back into it. And I also have started playing tennis. They're just going to chop this trade. Good thing we took some profits. Did we make it? Did we do the 400 likes? Let's go. Absolute legends. Thank you for your support. I really do appreciate it. We're setting a new standard now. We have to hit this amount of likes. We're going to set a new standard. Okay, so live trade is doing okay. It was a great execution. I waited for the 5-minute drop below the highs. So just to give you a quick recap, it was an SFP setup. Typical with this kind of price action where at the top of a range, you have a wick and you wait until we get the liquidity grab above the wick, acceptance back below. And so this was actually a very, very valid short setup. If you're in my community, I messaged you because my other short got stopped out. This is obviously a smaller position for me, but I hope that you guys could have taken advantage of that and kind of see the overall live execution. Yeah, and remember, if you want access to all my trades, I'm not going to be doing live trades all the time because that's reserved for mainly the community where I want to start doing more of that in there. So if you want to see how I'm trading the market day by day, week by week, my spot portfolio, etc., you do have the first link in my description down below. If you DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram, you'll be able to join my private group where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis. You also have all the links in the description down below. So any exchange you want to trade on, that's down below. You can do so, and then you get access to the group for free. It is free. You're trading with your own capital. That's not my sign off quite yet. I'm going to wait maybe another little bit here to see if we can hit my 79.935 target here. But pretty sweet. Happy to have been able to execute like this live on the stream. Darren Mitchell, thank you for your support. Solex2936, is the bear market over? I don't think so. Sounds crazy, but I do not think so. How's our boy Saylor doing with this ATM? Spiked up, came back down. Let's see. Maybe tomorrow this guy can do his thing. So I already took profits on the scalp trade. You guys are asking the target. The target for this trade, if you're going for a 2-for-1 risk to reward, it would be down to this wick, which is the low 79K zone. However, if, for example, stop loss has already moved to break even and you want to reduce risk, you can do something like this, which sometimes I discuss. Stop right above the wick if you haven't moved your stop to break even, and then you can gradually bring it up for a move down to like the mid 79K zone. But again, this is a fun little trade I took on the stream here, and I'm okay with my position getting stopped out. It doesn't really matter. It's very, very a small trade for me. If you want the bigger ones, you know where to find me. Hello from Germany. Keep up the good work. I'm part of your Telegram community since about half a year and have learned a lot since joining. Thank you for your daily analysis of the crypto market. I really appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Christian Clausen. This feels so good when you take half in profit and watch what happens. Yeah, it is a good feeling. For sure. Make sure you don't overdo it, though, the streaming. You might end up hating it. Yeah, it's tricky because I really have seen so many guys do this, and they've done it for 5 hours a day for years. And so I'm a very competitive guy, and when I realize that other people are doing this, what is stopping me from executing at the same level? You know what I mean? So I'm holding myself to a high standard. I want to keep doing this. Naturally, with a 5-hour stream, there's a lot of yapping, but you take it as it is. You can tune into the parts you want to tune into. And if you want to watch the shorter videos, you can do so. I'm going to probably rotate a little bit. Mondays are usually live stream days. If there's any crazy price action, I hop on live. Tomorrow will probably be a video update. And yeah. So let's see. I'm glad, Armani, you like the live streams. I remember when I first started the live streams, I was so stressed about talking live on camera, but it's actually not that bad. You guys are very supportive. There's like maybe a handful of haters that come on for a 3-hour stream. I think that's okay. It's expected. No one did anything great without having any haters. So what are your thoughts on House of Crypto? Look, I don't remember, I think the last time I watched a piece of his content, he was very, very, very bullish when Bitcoin was already dumping from all-time highs. I don't know. He does longer, I think it's higher time frame stuff. Very well crafted content. It's longer videos. But I don't really have an opinion. But I read your comment. More likes. Are you from Toronto? Yes, I am from Toronto. Refresh here. 428 likes. Absolutely awesome. Awesome stuff. I've been trading for a little less than a year and I understand the market much better now that I have better managing risk. Absolutely, it's Will Anderson. Very, very crucial to have good risk management. Otherwise, you just get wrecked. And you realize that that's what trading is at the end of the day. Just risk management. Are we going sub 80K? From Toronto and French speaking? Yeah, I went to a fully French school. My first language is French. All right, legends. No, I'm not from Quebec. I have family in Quebec, but no, I'm French. Je suis français, franco-ontarien. Justin Bieber has some bangers. Okay, guys. So we did the live trade. Happy with how it played out. Could have gone differently. So thank you as always for tuning into the content. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Share the channel with your friends and family that want to get into crypto trading, that want someone to help them navigate the market in the way that I do. I don't know if I've already said subscribe, but smash the like button, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. If you want to trade within my community, you know where to find me. It is free. DM me the keyword CBM on Telegram to join my private group. All the exchanges are down below. Great options, great rewards. You get reduced fees if you trade under my referral. And that's a wrap on today's video. We're currently hovering just above $80,000, had a nice sweep of the highs, entered a live trade, and I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I'll see you in the next video.